Guys, it's Emma. I don't think I'm going to do a full-on vlog today. I might tie in a little bit of today with tomorrow or something. But anyway, this is going to be the Q&A. It's a new one, yeah! And you can leave more questions below. Yeah, okay. Let's begin. This first question is actually from Sydney, my best friend, who's in my vlogs recently. That I went to go visit in Greensboro. I texted her and I asked her to send me a question hey, what's something that you've always wondered, blah 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 kind of thing, because I wanted a question from her. So she asked, if you could choose only one of your mental illnesses, which one would you get rid of? In layman's terms, if I could take away one mental illness, which one would I take away? I would not take away a mental illness. I would take away my neurobiological syndrome, Tourette syndrome, which is not a mental disorder, which I feel like I've messed up and said that in the past, back when I wasn't extremely knowledgeable upon the subject. But definitely number one, I would totally take away Tourette's. Out of everything that I have, totally Tourette's. But other than that, if I were to take away a specific mental disorder / mental illness, it would be depression. That one is a no-no. I like my serotonin. I want it to be balanced, and I want my structures to be, created in the exact right way where I will never get depressed, kind of thing. That would be really nice. I think that's the one mental illness that if I could only choose one to out of here, it would be depression. Ugh. That one's never good. It shuts down everything else. Okay, and this next one was from the YouTube comments section, and it was asked by Bruce Lee. He asked technically 4 different questions, so I'm going to answer them all within, one certain group range kind of thing. Bruce Lee asked, how would you say your relationship with Tourette's is? Do you feel like you are defined by it? Is it always on your mind? Or do you feel like there are some days where you have control over it to the point where in a social setting it never crosses your mind? I'm gonna start out with just answering the first question. So, how would you say your relationship with Tourette's is? I'd say that I hate it and it hates me, kind of thing, if we're putting it into relationship terms. It's never been a fan of mine, and I've never been a fan of its. I always say, Tourette's hates me, and I say this in certain situations because if I'm on a roller coaster and I have to scrunch up my legs, my Tourette's will make me need to do this. You can't do this on a roller coaster, at least not on most of them. And then even if I'm ice skating, it'll want me to point, and you're not supposed to point while you ice skate because then you'll just fall. I just say that we're in a hate-hate relationship, and obviously I've never liked having it, just imagine one day waking up, you didn't have Tourette's ever, and you weren't used to any of this, and you hadn't lived through all of this throughout your life, and I'm not even used to it. Imagine waking up one day and you don't have control over your body throughout the entire day, 24/7 for the rest of your life. There are certain things that you have to do. You do not have control. You can suppress to a certain point, and that certain point normally is about half a second. There's not really suppression involved in Tourette's. When you're doing certain things, you need to do them. And of course, this one starts happening. You get the feeling and it needs to happen. I don't like that, so hate-hate relationship. Bruce Lee's next question was, do you feel like you are defined by it? No. No. I know my YouTube channel name is Life's a Twitch Emma, right? But that's kind of clever because it's a spin-off, it's a nice way to introduce how my channel is about a lot of psychological aspects, and a lot of it has to do with Tourette's because that's an extremely prevalent part of my life. But overall, I like to say that I don't define myself by Tourette's. I've put thumbnails that say Tourette's girl because that's mostly clickbait because sometimes people don't care about Tourette's. Sometimes I put the clickbait there so that people will maybe learn something new. You know, like I think I had that one video, Tourette's Girl, like 4 years ago, and that has a good amount of views because people clicked on it, and I don't know, honestly, it was so cringeworthy because I was like 12. I can't even like go back and watch it now. No, not 12, Emma, come on, 4 years ago. I was like 13 or 14, so it might have been even 5 years ago now. Holy moly. Do I feel like I am defined by Tourette's? No. Bruce Lee's next question is it always on your mind? No, it is not always on my mind. There are many other things I think about, you know, like I always know I have Tourette's, and I know that I'm doing things a lot of the time, but actually sometimes I'll be ticking and not even know it. I've seen my friends like when I'm in their Snapchat stories, I'll be doing certain things and I'll be like, oh my god, I was ticking then and I had no idea at the time that I was ticking. Like I think I saw in one of my friend's Snapchat stories like a week or two ago, I was doing this tick where I like I have a certain shape that I draw with my pointer finger, and I was doing that while I was like on my phone in the other hand or something, or even in this hand. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something, and this hand was just relaxing and doing that, and I had no idea. After she like showed me it, after she videoed it to put on her story, she showed it to me. I was like, oh my god, I was ticking. She's like, yeah. I was like, I didn't know. But no, it's not always on my mind, and it is sometimes, especially when it gets really bad. Of course I think about it and I stress about it, get anxious about it, which in turn makes the Tourette's worse, and it's just this whole cycle, and there's no coming down from it, and you try to come down from it, you get even more stressed, and then the cycle goes and explodes. You know, I can't really exactly suppress certain things, but it's not like every time I'm doing a tick, I'm not thinking, hey, I'm doing this tick right now. You know, like I've done a ton of ticks within just like the past 5 seconds, and you know, a lot of them you can't even see. But a lot of them I'm really good at masking. I just did one. That was one. But I don't even think about it. Even now when I mask them, I've like conditioned myself and trained myself enough to the point where I'll just do it in a way where no one else will notice, and I won't even notice either. It's not always on my mind. And the last of Bruce Lee's questions was, or do you feel like there are some days where you have control over it to the point where in a social setting it never crosses your mind? First off, I would like to say that no one ever has control over Tourette's. There is never going to be a single second or of space and time ever where you have control over your Tourette's. Will there be points in social settings where it never crosses your mind? Yes, because, especially for me, because I'm not defined by it. Referring to the last question, I don't define myself by Tourette's, so I don't think about it in a lot of social settings. Like, I'm Emma, you know? I mean, in my videos, I'm Life's a Twitch Emma, but I'm really Emma, you know? And I'm not Tourette's, you know? It's not like, you know, it's not like, are you Tourette's? No, I'm not Tourette's. Tourette's is not me. Like that one documentary / saying, I have Tourette's, but Tourette's doesn't have me. Makes sense. I would say that I never have control over it. There are times when it's better, and it's not acting up as much, and that's really when I don't notice it, you know, when I don't notice it within a social setting, but it's always going to be there, and I'm never going to have control over it, and I'm always ticking. I just did one right there. You know, there's a lot of ways, especially through my videos, that okay, well that one wasn't masked, a lot of the ways that I can mask them, and why people say like, oh, your ticks are getting better. They've gotten better over the years, but overall, no. It's not like, you know, my ticks have almost gone away. They haven't. Like, they are here and they are prevalent and they keep coming, and I literally almost had a tick attack yesterday and had to take a Flexeril before I got on a bus. Like, do I ever have control over it to the point where in a social setting it never crosses my mind? Yes and no. As in, I never have control over it, but sometimes it doesn't cross my mind. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for the Q&A today. I'm in a study room in my library. I'm trying to crank out footage. I only have this reserved for 30 minutes, and I'm going to do editing and such, mostly out there in the public people's area. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, watch my vlogs, send me something in the Share Your Story project thing, which is at www.lifesatwitchemma.com is where you will send your Share Your Story project stories. I think I got 2 more I need to post, and I'm still waiting for more to come in. So thanks guys, bye!